Here's a teaser. FPPad Tech Tour is coming. On today's broadcast, Pershing partners with a new company for your digital advice delivery needs. Wealth Access continues its growth in the PFM space, and find out how open source code called Wealthbot could pose a serious challenge to automated investment services. So get ready, FPPad Bits and Bytes begins now. Hey everyone, I'm Bill Winterberg, and thank you for joining me for this week's He Shoots, He Scores Advisor Technology News broadcast. Let's jump right into this week's top story with a recap of the Pershing Insight Conference held in Orlando last week, as one of the top institutional custodians for advisors made several technology-related announcements. First up is news of a partnership to allow advisors to offer their own white-labeled online investment service, which will be powered by a company called Marstone. Now, if the name Marstone doesn't ring a bell, don't worry, because it's only the second time I've even heard of them after a chance encounter I had with company executives at the IBM World of Watson event last month. In fact, the company is so new that their latest Form ADV disclosure shows assets of just $15,500 held in 2 client accounts. That's right, 2 accounts. Now, the few screenshots available from the Marstone website show a reasonably attractive interface, but with a retail investor offering that's still in beta and an advisor solution that has yet to be rolled out, it's just too early for me to say whether or not Marstone is going to gain wide adoption among advisors, especially when there are more seasoned competitors out there like GemStep, Betterment Institutional, Orange, and more. But Marstone will be the first of several anticipated solutions that will integrate with Pershing's NetX 360 platform for advisors, as well as the NetX Investor solution for end clients. Pershing also announced a new managed account solution called Managed 360 that will leverage investment strategies and managed portfolio offerings from Lockwood Advisors, which also happens to be an affiliate of Pershing. Also coming in the future is a Pershing API store, which is a catalog of APIs along the lines of the TD Ameritrade Institutional Veo Open Access platform, allowing third-party providers to more easily integrate with the Pershing ecosystem. So to get the details of all the tech-related announcements made at Pershing Insight, head over to fppad.com/166 to get the links to this week's top stories. Next up is news from Wealth Access, the Nashville-based provider of a personal financial dashboard for high-net-worth clients, as this week the company announced the growth of its business with 7 new hires in the last few months, as well as a 350% year-over-year increase in total assets aggregated in the platform, a figure that now exceeds $20 billion. You know that merger and acquisition activity in the personal financial management space this year has been on a tear, with Fidelity acquiring eMoney, Northwestern Mutual scooping up LearnVest, and John Hancock picking up Guide Financial. So Wealth Access is pretty much one of the last independent PFM platforms out there serving advisors that has no direct custodial or insurance company connection. So, like I've said in previous broadcasts, you would be wise to keep an eye on this company. And finally, wrapping up this week is an interesting discovery I made on the internet called Wealthbot. Now, stick with me on this one. Wealthbot is open source code published on the GitHub repository that can be used to create your own wealth management platform. Not satisfied with the commercial wealth management solutions available today? That's right, you can now build your own automated investment service. Now, developers should get really excited about the possibilities here, but advisors using Wealthbot directly, well, that's probably not going to happen without significant help from programmers. But here's the thing. Online services like Wealthfront, Betterment, Future Advisor, even Schwab Intelligent Portfolios have attracted huge amounts of attention and venture capital for their software-based investment algorithms. So, what happens to the value of those companies when code that mirrors their functionality is published on the internet for free? Could Wealthbot be the next WordPress, OpenOffice, or Firefox of robo-advisors? That, ladies and gentlemen, is why you're watching FPPad Bits and Bytes. So if you want to see the efforts behind Wealthbot, head over to fppad.com/166 right now and get the links to this week's top stories. Now, I'm not planning on an official broadcast next week since I'm headed to New York to talk to as many people as I can about the future of wealth management technology. So make sure you're subscribed to the free FPPad newsletter so you don't miss my reports from the trip. And as always, you can send me a tweet anytime using @BillWinterberg or leave a comment on the FPPad YouTube channel. For FPPad.com, I'm Bill Winterberg. See you next time. And find out how you can open source code called Wealthbot. You know, that merger acquisition. So, like I've said in previous broadcasts, yeah, really, FPPad Tech Tour, coming summer 2015. FPPad Tech Tour. You'll want to watch for it.